presentation open, going into slideshow. So whenever you're ready, you can get started and I'll start the timer. I'll let you know when there's 1 minute remaining.
Hello everyone, my name is Gonzalez and I'm here to present my social impact project, Post-Secondary Pathways. Next slide, please. Here is like the order of which I'm going to discuss my project to you guys. Next slide, please. So about me. I'm from Bakersfield, California. I'm Mexican Salvadorian. I'm a senior at South High School, and I plan to major in biochemistry or biomedical engineering or anthropology. And I love to run, crochet, and listen to music. So my connection with this project is that I am a first generation low income student from immigrant parents who aspires to pursue a quality higher education. Because of where I come from, my background, no one in my family has been able to pursue an education beyond high school. So I am the first to actually do that. And that inspires me to give back and make change. Next slide, please. So, for context, about 55% of low income students enroll to college in comparison to high income students who are 84% likely to enroll into college. So, with that, you could see the huge disparity from low income to high income. And the graph on the bottom shows the higher level of education you take, the higher your salary is. And how this connects to my community is that at South High School, the school that I attend, only 39% of the students who graduated actually attend a 4 year university. And 96.5% of these students receive free or reduced lunch, which shows that it's an indicator of being low income. So the problem is low income students in the community often lack awareness and guidance about post secondary pathways, limiting their opportunities for higher education and career advancement. Next slide, please. So, how does my project solve this? My project aims to empower low-income students by educating them about post-secondary pathways, such as university, community college, trade schools, and the military, and providing them with guidance on how to pursue these options. By expanding their access to education and career opportunities, the project aims to break cycles of generational poverty and improve economic mobility in the community. This aligns with the Sustainable Development Goal of quality education because the knowledge I give to these students allows them to make decisions to pursue a quality education. Next slide, please. So, a breakdown of my project. The first step for me was having to outreach, having to create a bunch of accounts and logos and all the stuff to look professional and lists and a template to email these people and get in contact with them. And once I did, I had to prepare. I had to prepare a 15-minute slide presentation that also brings me on to my next step, which I presented in front of around 50 students. I created a workshop, which I had to step out of my comfort zone to do. And this also brings me to my last step, which was data. And once I presented in front of these people, I made a Google survey, which they had to fill out, and I analyzed their data afterwards. Next slide, please. So, challenges and solutions. So, one of the challenges I faced was limited outreach resources. In my community, since it is very small, there aren't a lot of resources which I can reach out to. And majority of the time, I wouldn't hear anything back. So, I had a real problem with that. And my solution to this was using my own network. So, like the people I know, and that's how I wanted to get in contact with the people at my school, like my advisor. And another challenge was time management. Since it was a very fixed timeline that I had to complete this project, I had to, like, there is moments where, like, I caught myself not putting in as much work. And my solution to that was to spread out my time. I needed to stop procrastinating, and I created little timelines for myself to get things done. Another challenge is credibility. I wanted the people in my community to trust me, to look at me as somebody that's reliable and that I do have the knowledge. So my solution to that was to do my research, show them I am knowledgeable, that I know what I'm talking about, and that I'm able to do this for them. And I had to be confident. My confidence showed them that I am a credible person to take seriously. Next slide, please. So, the influence of my project. 85% of the students who attended my workshops increased confidence in post secondary pathways. This shows a significant shift in mentality at South High School. Next slide, please. So, to continue, for my impact, my audience was full of low income first generation high school seniors. And this was very important because they were attending a college preparation workshop. And this was important for my project because the audience that I was presenting in front of, they already had post-secondary pathways in mind. And so for me to be presenting in front of them, I got to show them even more options and what they got to see after high school because they are seniors. And on the bottom, you could see on the graphs how the knowledge that these kids had before was pretty scattered throughout. And afterwards, majority of the kids reached a 4 and a 5 of knowledge from a scale of a scale of 0 to 5. So, which is a lot more that they knew before. Next slide, please. So, the most valuable takeaway for me was knowing which is less expensive because it is important. That was the most valuable takeaway that one of the students told me. I compiled a bunch of written responses from the students that I gave them questions. So another question was, how will you apply what you've learned? And a trend I saw was that a lot of these kids, they now knew the options. They knew if their pathway doesn't work out, they have others to rely on. So what did they know before? A trend I saw was that majority knew like traditional college systems, such as the UC and CSU system, but not much more beyond that. And so what did they know after? A lot of them knew stuff like vocational schools and military and the benefits that they could get from that. Next slide, please. So next steps. I do plan on continuing this project beyond Close the Gap, beyond pitch day. And I talked to my advisor and I already have another workshop set in place for, I think, in 2 weeks. And why I want to continue this is because I'm very passionate about it. And I believe that, like, seeing all these responses, I knew that I can make change. I can make a difference, even if it's small. And I really have the ambition to do better. So this brings me on to what I hope to improve. I want to improve the engagement and I want to interact with my audience. I believe that that makes it easier for them to actually retain the knowledge that I'm telling them. And I hope to have a better presentation. The goals that I have are bigger audiences, different audiences. I want to go beyond my school and I want more engagement and I want to see proof of action. I want to see these people, I want to push these people to actually do things. Next slide, please. So what I learned was taking initiative. Even though it's scary, the fact that I'm starting it is a big step and I should continue. Another thing I learned was being prepared. A lot of stuff is very chaotic and sometimes it's hard to keep moving forward, but that's why you have to be prepared to keep going. Another thing I learned was that small impacts matter too. I don't have to do something world changing, since doing something small does make a huge difference as well. And another thing I learned was my journey beyond high school. I learned the ambition that I have to actually continue pursuing my post secondary education. And I feel like this also ties into like the career that I want to do. I want to do more beyond high school, and this just really motivates me to do that. Next slide. And thank you. Any questions?
I'll start out, Lori. It's Naomi here. I want to share with you that the poise that you kept through all the technical difficulties was amazing. Giles and I work in the same company, and our stuff We have presentations all the time that don't go the way as planned, and you kept beautiful poise throughout the whole process when things didn't work. That is a sign and testament of who you are and the work that you've done. So kudos to you for that. I actually was really impressed with the fact that you realized that the small impacts matter. Sometimes if we go things that are too big, like it's very difficult to get that in, but small things, they also have like a ripple effect, right? Like if you do it, other people will do it as well. And so was very impressed by that. Was interested in knowing on the things that you're going to do post, like after this is done, like what is the one key thing that you think that would be the best for you to keep going forward with?
I was actually thinking about like a change in like collecting my data. So instead of surveys, I wanted to do exit tickets because I believe that holds my audience accountable for actually taking that option and for actually thinking about it, for actually doing something. And that way I can actually, because that was the problem with my engagement. I presented in front of about 50 students, but I only got feedback from 20. So that way, like I can actually hold them to it and push them to move forward.
Okay.
Shots.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Yeah, no, just wanted to second what Naomi said. You kept it really good, cool, even when there was a technical issue, and that's really tough to do. And everybody's, really, yeah, I think impressed by that. And also, no, I love the project. I think it's so brave to be trying to build coaching for people beyond, high school, beyond where you are when you haven't necessarily been there yourself. And I think that's an amazing, I think back to when I was at that point, everybody just relies on their advisors and it's just not enough. So I think it's really like impressive. What I want to know is how did you feel that the other students, maybe the 20 people that did respond, the people that you were able to bring in and along with you, did you think that there was energy from them to maybe also join in your project? So it's not just alone. Did you think maybe you could build a community of people doing what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. I do definitely think that a lot of the people were very interested in it. I after my project, I ended up getting not much, but I ended up getting one follower back. So I think that like that shows that there is an interest in what I'm doing, and that, like I really can make change. Especially like seeing the responses was very like heartwarming, and it was very nice to see that like I actually did make a change. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was really nice to see.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
I can go next. Amazing presentation. And by the way, your poise is like, even I think professionals, mature professionals also lose their poise sometimes with all the difficulties. But kudos to you. You did a great job. And I think, it's not easy. So great job on the presentation. You answered most of my questions. I have one last, it's not even a question, a thought, a provoking thing. Like this is something that has to be ongoing, right? Even after you leave high school and stuff, kids need this kind of, all kids need this kind of, it's always helpful. So what are you thinking about, how are you thinking about continuing this even after you leave your high school?
Well, I noticed that like with my community, it's like even though we are in a modern age and like there's more resources, there's a fact that there's a culture in my community which like oh sorry, it's just like it deviates people from actually wanting to move forward. And so with I think me being like their peer, I actually got them to keep going. So how I want to move forward with this project though is to keep doing in-person workshops because I think that actually does something. And I want to do these workshops unexpectedly because a lot of these students they can't reach out if they don't know. So I want to like pursue those workshops. Like my mentor, my advisor, she wants me to present in front of freshman students, And I feel like that's a really good audience because they don't know yet. They're not thinking about their future yet. So I want to keep going in front of people like that, and I want to connect with other organizations that have similar goals to me.
Awesome. Great job.